Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Gentleman Pursuits podcast. I hope everyone's doing well. As always, staying healthy and hydrated. It's Sunday once again. I'm really grateful to be doing podcasts for you. I really enjoy doing podcasts. Actually, among all the things I do around Gentleman Pursuits, podcast is one of the, my favorite thing to do. Recently, I've uploaded the fourth article for the Tales from the Gram series. If you don't know what it is basically is an article series where I interview watch collectors from Instagram, asking about their favorite pieces, from their collection, or the one they think is the most valuable to them, in hopes of finding interesting anecdotes and story between them and the watch, encounters and experiences. And I'll be turning them into articles and share it with the world. So the fourth one was uploaded on Wednesday. It was with Mr. Gareth Munden. I think that's how you pronounce the name. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but if you have not checked it out yet, please do so. I really love this article series and the article, as I find it really amusing from all these crazy stories I was able to curate from doing interviews with these collectors. So one thing about the collectors and the watches they talk about is that they're mainly vintage watches. However, today, in this episode, I want to switch focus onto something just as unique as last week's topic, because where I talked about crazy looking watches such as the HYT, this week, my friend Ronald suggested that I talk about Rolexes. Not just any Rolexes, but Rolexes with diamonds. Now, normally I don't pay attention to those kinds of watches. Not that I find them ugly, actually quite the opposite. I don't hate them like how a lot of people from the watch community dislike, excuse me, when rich people, put diamonds on their watches. I appreciate all kind of watches. I don't like gatekeepers. Okay. So instead of talking about Rolexes with diamonds, I've decided to talk about watches with diamonds in general. So sit back, relax, and grab yourself a hot beverage, because this episode is going to be wild. I myself was really excited too, so here we go. So first of all, in my opinion on so-called ice out watches is that I don't hate them. As I said before, if I have the power to add diamonds or buy factory diamond watches, I would. I don't mind wearing them. And to be fair, not all diamond watches are completely filled with diamonds like those we see on wrappers, right? So some like the date with diamond markers or Royal Oak Jumbo, right? Or some of the safer choices if you're looking for, a safer diamond watch. Less shiny options here because the only diamond part is the markers. And then we have watches like the Nautilus 5713, the bezel is filled with diamonds, and then we got the completely filled out, factory diamond GMT. For Rolex, it is no surprise that they use, the highest quality diamonds. When you buy a diamond Rolex watch, it will only feature diamonds that are IF clarity. For those who are not familiar, what is IF clarity? There's basically a clarity scale from 0 to 10, 0 being the clearest, and IF, which stands for internally flawless, is a 0. So to get an IF grading or certification, according to diamonds.pro, the diamond must contain no inclusions, even when it's super zoomed in with crazy microscopes, yeah? So when it comes to high-grade diamonds, it needs a high-grade setting as well. So Rolex uses the 4-claw settings, which allows you to see more of the diamonds by keeping minimal metal coverage. Less coverage, more light will be able to shine on the diamonds, and voila, sparkles. Another setting that Rolex uses is the channel setting, which is a way to set smaller diamonds by placing them close together, just like how they do most of their diamond watch bezels. So, as you can see, Rolex is, when you buy a factory diamond watch from Rolex, you're almost guaranteed with the highest quality of diamond. You're paying, bang for buck, right? And the most common diamond cuts for watches is obviously the round cuttings, and I believe the second would be the emerald and baguette. Emerald is usually for more rectangular bezels like the Nautilus, but most of the time it is round cuttings. But perhaps, like, no matter how beautiful or how valuable I say, of buying a diamond watch, right? For even if it's from Rolex, and most people would ask the same question regarding diamond watches: is it going to devalue the watch? Many people believe that adding diamonds will increase its value. I mean, they're not, like, I can see where that came from, because you're literally adding diamond to a watch, right? But maybe in some cases it will increase the watch's value, because after all, as I said, you're adding diamonds on it. But in most cases, it will devalue the watch. As mentioned before, there are factory diamonds and custom set diamonds, of course, like servicing a watch, disregarding the wait time, sending it here, sending it back, to the factory. Sending it back to the factory to service is always the best option here. So yes, diamond or no diamond, if it is factory made, I'd say go for it. But if you're afraid of subpar diamonds and you are going for an after work, I'd say no. Some jeweler may use economy class diamonds if you are not particularly generous with your budget, or they may simply undercut you. So it's not a guarantee. So most of the time, if you buy diamond watches from a factory, whatever watchmaker, I'd say go for it. If you have the money, if you really want it, go for it. But if it's an after work and if you don't care, right? If you don't care if it's gonna devalue the watch with some subpar diamonds, I'd say go for it too. But most of the time, I'd say no. I'm kind of against that. So second thing you have to worry about is the model of the watch. And in my opinion, not a lot of the models of watches are suitable for diamond makeovers, or the original design is simply way better looking than a modified one. Or if the watch is a vintage watch, let's say a really rare Paul Newman Daytona, adding diamonds to it would be a really dumb idea, because the value of the watch is is the vintage value and rareness. If you add a set of diamonds to it, it will take away its core value and make it into just another luxury watch with diamonds, which completely devalues it, right? Number 3, customizing a watch will void its factory warranty, preventing the owner from future factory service. So some watch owners may not care, but it is still a thing to be cautious about. So in general, adding diamonds is a great way to make an already expensive object look more expensive, but just make sure whatever modification you add to it, I don't care, diamonds or whatever, change the bezel color, right, is doing the modification you were trying to do to the watch is doing it good rather than bad. Because most people, are clouded by the decision, be like, oh my god, I want this really shiny watch. I don't care if it's good or bad, if the diamonds subpar or first class diamonds, I just want it to shine when I wear it. Some people, my bad, not most people, but some people are like that. And if you're looking to do that, don't be that person. Be smart about it, then, you'll be thanking yourself in the future. Thank you for tuning in today. Make sure to follow Gentleman Pursuits on Facebook, Instagram, and smash that follow button in front of you to follow the podcast if you like it. New podcast episode every Sunday. And once again, thank you. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you next Sunday.